What's up, welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, my favorite blind film critic, and today we're talking about Daredevil, Season 2, Episode 5, I believe. Um, and we just got back from Bullseye trying to off Vanessa. And so the episode is cut basically between three different storylines. So you have Kingpin, who is trying to um, deal with whatever's happening to Vanessa at the time. He's not reacting well to things. Vanessa did initially survive. She's at the hospital and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with her. And the doctors are trying to take care of her, and Kingpin's freaking out. He does deal a little bit with Cashman, but otherwise he mostly just is in uh, sort of a very relatable, panicked husband mode. Um, but there's something where Cashman like tells him about like they're hinting at like they need to move some money around or something, and they're like, "Well, we should get into crypto." And Cashman's like, "I don't know, that's too volatile for this. I know an art dealer." And they're flashing to, because Vanessa used to be an art dealer, so obviously she has art and they know art and all that kind of stuff. And there was a painting that she didn't want to sell, and sort of it's that stuff, the flashback that you see of Vanessa at the beginning. We don't get into the full whatever Cashman's talking about, how they're going to make money or sell art, or I don't, whatever. That is not really explored here. Um, so Kingpin is going to spend a whole episode with Vanessa. Daredevil's going to try to save Bullseye, who got hit in the last episode. Daredevil's fine, Bullseye's not. So he's trying to drag Bullseye around town. They have a lot of conversations and arguments, which lead to flashbacks between Matt and Foggy, which are pretty cool because it shows one of their earlier cases, and it shows that Matt was a little bit of a dick back in the day and a little bit more worried about losing his job than he was making sure to do the right thing all the time. And it was really Foggy was the one that his moral compass was the strong one that was holding of the two, not Matt. So Foggy was the one who was like, yeah, it's more important that we do the right thing. Um, so they have a case where they're helping out the older brother of a childhood friend of Foggy, and against what they're supposed to do, against what their firm wants them to do, they're able to get him off, which kind of sets them on their path to be on their own law firm, because they didn't do what the law firm wanted them to do, because their law firm was hired by a crime syndicate who wanted them to get this guy to take a plea deal so they could put him in jail so they could kill him. So anyway, they get him set free. And what's interesting is at the end it shows that Cashman was the assassin who was sent to kill this guy, Ray. I think it was Ray. But Ray has already fled because Foggy gave him their sort of like life savings, like him and Matt's life savings, and told him to leave and start a new life. So he does. So somewhere that guy's out there, and Cashman didn't get to kill him. Um, Funny how these things work out. So Daredevil's able to get Bullseye to the church where Bullseye was. The preacher there protects them for a little while until, you know, Gung Ho comes through the door with his ICE agents and is like, "We're gonna search the facility and it's under the order of the mayor. And there's new rules now." So they are hiding, and Bullseye is trying to get Daredevil to leave him there, that this is what's supposed to happen to him. You know, this is his penance or whatever. But Daredevil is like, well, you know, I tried to kill you. Maybe that's penance. And there's a little bit of conversation. I'm glad they finally recognize this too. It feels like they fired like half the people, the people from the beginning of Daredevil Born Again, and like new people came in and they're like, guys, these guys are really stupid at the beginning because they're having like apologize for things. So they actually have Bullseye address the fact that he fell 4 stories and survived. And they're like, he's like, I fell 4 stories. And so that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, it's not. You're right. He just got up and went into try, you know. On to concrete, by the way. So, um, he's already like, he's like, I don't know, I just feel like my luck's run out type of thing. So, but Daredevil gets him up, gets him moving, and you see at the end, Daredevil has brought Bullseye into his lair where it's him and Karen's like shocked that Bullseye is there, but they've worked a lot to get to this point. So Bullseye is, I guess, going to be an anti-hero now. I don't know. We'll see where they go with that story arc. Cashman, on the other hand, takes Blake, Daniel Blake, off to the Gandolfini kid, because he ended up telling BB, because BB was pressing him for Vanessa's status. And he decided to be really specific about it and say that she was in critical condition. She does just initially ask, is she alive or not? And then he sees later on the news that the words critical condition are released to someone else in the press. And he's like, BB, goddamn, like he knows he was played. But the thing is that it's like, had he just confirmed that she was alive, like, I feel like most people would have, they would never have tracked the specificity of that. And as she said, there's only just so many hospitals, so eventually they're gonna figure out which hospital she's at. And but Daniel's freaking out because he's now with Cashman, and Cashman's taking him out, and they're like, oh, we're headed out to Albany. And he's like, oh, you didn't say that. I thought we were just going to get some, like a hot dog, like food somewhere. And so they stop at a store where Cashman gets a shovel and a saw. And Daniel's freaking out. Like the guilt is running through him, but he decides to stay. He could have driven away, but he doesn't. And so he starts begging Cashman not to kill him. He's like, I did whatever I did. I didn't do anything. I'm sorry. Whatever it is that I made you mad, please don't kill me. And Cashman just playing it cool. And he tells a little bit about his backstory, about how he was a soldier and Kingpin helped him out and got him back on his path or whatever. So he's like, we owe a lot to Kingpin. I mean, you came out from Staten Island, and look at you, you're head of communications. So it's time for you to, So all it was, and actually I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't, I thought, I kind of picked up on where it was going at a certain point, where I thought Cashman had captured BB, and that Daniel was going to have to choose between BB and Cashman at that point. Kill BB type of thing. It's a dead body. And there was the one that Cashman killed in the last episode. It was the first mate, right, where Cashman, the other agents or whatever were supposed to take him into witness protection. Cashman stepped out and he shot the first mate. So while the audio description didn't specify who it is, I'm gonna guess that's who it is. Could be somebody else. Who knows how many people Cashman kill all the time. So he's like, saw or shovel. I'm like, what do you mean or? Like, why would you? Even if Daniel did choose the saw, did you just leave it out there? Like, you just cut up the body and then you don't bury it? Doesn't he have to bury the body anyway, whether he cuts it up or not? So, yeah, he's making Daniel get his hands dirty. So that's what that is. And then we cut back to Kingpin, and Vanessa wakes up and everything's going good. She seems off though, and I kind of picked up on this. It's not quite where I thought it was going to go. I honestly thought they were going to wake her up and she was going to have memory problems and not remember anything. it seemed to be like she was having memory problems. And I was like, well, that's what they leave the show, is that she doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember that he's a criminal. She doesn't remember that she was a criminal, like anything like that. I was like, that's interesting. That's intriguing. So, because she wants pineapple juice is like the one thing that she wants. And Kingpin says, you don't like pineapple juice because it makes your lips tingle. And she's like, yeah, but it's all I want right now. So she wants the one thing that she's never that she doesn't like or doesn't have, but he still gets it for her. And then she asks him to tell him the story of how they met. So he does, and we see that in the flashback. Sort of. I mean, he's basically just in a car watching her at an art gallery. Um, it's not a, it's not super in depth. And then when he finishes the story, she kind of glitches and starts to ask him to tell it again, and then she looks confused, and her that's what she seems to have some sort of like a stroke, and doctors rush in and they're trying to save her. She's sort of flatlining. So it's not like we don't confirm Vanessa's death. Like, I mean, they could bring her back. She did kind of also die at the end of the last episode. So Vanessa could be in some sort of like vegetative state at the beginning of the next episode. Who knows? I actually kind of would have preferred for Kingpin to have to deal with somebody who had memory loss like that. He would see it as a clean slate, but also he'd be frustrated with the fact that maybe new Vanessa wouldn't like the crime side of him. Maybe new Vanessa wouldn't like the violent side of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much does he love his wife? If she is no longer accepting of that, if new Vanessa has forgotten that he's into all of that, that he has this criminal background, that could have been inherently interesting. I think writing Vanessa off the show is maybe not the way to go, because no matter what, Kingpin is still going to be mad at Daredevil and Bullseye. I mean, if they farted in the wind, he just gets angry. So it's never gonna change for them. So you don't really lose or gain anything by killing her off. So whatever. But um, audio description is excellent. It's William Michael Redman's been doing excellent work this season on Daredevil. So I didn't have any questions or problems throughout the episode. I was able to follow everything that was happening, all the action sequences. There aren't that many of them, but I mean, I was able to follow them. A lot happened in this episode, though. They crammed a lot in. Still no Jessica Jones. Well, I guess we'll get her at the end of the season. She'll just kick in the door and be like, I'm here. Finally, you let me in the show. So, that's it this week. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.